All right, here we are in final exam review part 2 for the MBA 604 Innovation and Sustainability course. I am Joni Roberts. I am the Vice Program Chair and Consulting Professor for Saylor's MBA program. So excited to be at this point with all of you. I am feeling really good about what we've covered in these 10 lectures and 8 lectures and 2 exam reviews. And I feel much more confident that you all are going to be able to approach and understand and digest the information, the course, and be successful on your exams, and most importantly, be successful in the world by using all of the concepts that we are talking about in this course. The next 2 cases, both 3 and 4, cover Unit 3, Integrating Entrepreneurship with Innovation and Sustainability. They both cover the learning outcomes of 3A, B, C, and D, which are the sustainability entrepreneurial process, identifying sustainability needs in society and the marketplace by finding opportunities for sustainable entrepreneurship, developing creative skills such as idea generation and product design improvements that enhance innovation, and recognizing social and environmental ethical issues such as equity, well-being, production, consumption, arising from innovation and sustainability product development. All right, if you watch the first study exam review, part 1, it's the same here for 3 and 4. And they are composed of multiple choice questions that also engage critical thinking. Remember to evaluate all of the answers. I mean, toss out the ones that clearly, that can't be it, that can't be it. But there could be 2 remaining that make you think a little bit harder. And be sure to choose the best possible choice for the topic that we are in here as a sustainability entrepreneur. And reflect carefully before responding. Again, the best way to prepare for this exam is to engage with all of the learning activities and all of the learning resources. Every article, every book chapter, every video is relevant to the final exam. I believe watching all of the live lectures will help you tremendously, but that in itself is not enough without reading all of the material. Taking the end of unit assessments, carefully reviewing the study guide are also very helpful in preparing for the exam. Engaging with the material and with anyone else taking the course, as in posting in the discussions and on the YouTube videos, is another way to bring this course to life for you. And remember that for the exams, I have drawn questions from every learning resource, not just the ones highlighted in the live lectures or the study guide or the end of unit assessments. So here we are in Unit 3, Case 3. Let's see what we have in store. Well, this one is on a housing crisis happening in Silicon Valley in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I'll read through the case, and I want to do this because people taking this course, many of them will also be English as a second language learners. And it's important to read everything and give a little bit of a rounding out of some of the ideas here. The title is Silicon Valley, the epicenter for tech innovation, faces a housing crisis. This case is based on a fictitious company attempting to solve a real-world housing crisis. Silicon Valley, located in Northern California's San Francisco Bay Area with the core city of San Jose, is the global center for technology innovation and home to the world's most dense concentration of tech companies. Notable companies such as Apple, Hewlett-Packard, Alphabet, aka Google, Oracle, Intel, Cisco, Facebook, and Netflix are located here, and thousands of startups are fueled by a robust venture capital ecosystem. Around half of the startups are founded or co-founded by immigrants, since Silicon Valley attracts top engineers and entrepreneurs worldwide. The area is surrounded by leading universities such as Stanford and is known for its cutting-edge knowledge-sharing culture. For tech entrepreneurs, it is the epicenter for launching, growing, and quickly gaining venture capital interest, often from Silicon Valley tech entrepreneurs who became billionaires from their innovations. However, extreme wealth for some has led to homelessness for others. With all of the extreme wealth generated in Silicon Valley, a serious downside is a lack of affordable housing for many residents. Even though Silicon Valley has the highest median income in the United States, it also has the highest housing cost. A compounding issue is the imbalance between jobs created and new housing built. For example, from 2012 to 2017, San Francisco Bay Area cities added 400,000 new jobs, but only issued 60,000 permits for new housing units. A growing population of over 7.7 million in the San Francisco Bay Area, including 3 million people in the smaller area of Silicon Valley, has put pressure on the demand for housing against a limited supply to the point of becoming a crisis, with some tech employees living in tents, vans, and recreational vehicles. The average small two-bedroom apartment rents for about $2,500, while the median home price is about $1 million, beyond the reach for many early to mid-career professionals and residents in supporting industries such as restaurant, retail, and public service. Altogether, this fuels a homelessness crisis on top of a housing shortage, leading to unsustainable and inequitable social and environmental issues. So, can innovative and sustainable solutions solve the housing crisis? As an expert in innovation and sustainability, you've been asked to join a founding team of entrepreneurs launching a sustainable home building company called Nuevo to help solve the housing crisis in Silicon Valley. You will need to work with within the parameters set forth by the state of California, known to have some of the world's most strict environmental laws and building codes. San Francisco is a global powerhouse for environmental innovations, programs, and policies, making it one of the most progressive and greenest cities in North America. I do want to say here, you do not need to learn about the specifics of California law for this case. I would like for you to know that you need to apply the most progressive answers in the case questions. The team is committed to finding innovative and sustainable solutions in architectural design, building materials, energy sources, water conservation, land use, and more to create affordable housing and communities. You are asked to provide valuable insights into integrating entrepreneurship with innovation and sustainability by answering the following questions. Let's see what one of those questions might look like. How can Nuevo apply circular business models in its ideation process? Is it A, by using resources for home building that go from cradle to grave? Well, there are some keywords there that sound familiar. However, cradle to grave, a grave is a landfill. And we know that that is not what we're doing here in sustainability, right? We are doing cradle to cradle. We're doing circular. B, by capturing value from resources in a one and done circular way. Oh, what does that mean? Well, there's circular is in there. That sounds good. However, one and done. What is one and done? Single use plastic, single use anything. Use it once, toss it away, put it in a landfill. And we don't want to be thinking like that in sustainable innovation and design. C, by allowing each team member to contribute a new idea in a circular fashion. Well, that's an ideation process. It's circular, is it? All right, let's look at the next one. By considering the sharing economy in its residential community development. All right, there it is, answer D. And what might that look like in the real world? What's the sharing economy in a residential community? This could be many things. And for example, it could be instead of planting grass in the yards, which is heavy water intensive and unnatural for most places in the United States, you could plant edible gardens, right? And then everyone could grow food in their yards and around their homes and then share those food items with others in the community by making a communal marketplace for that. Perhaps share the extra food with those who are living in tents, right? And that's a sharing economy. It's a sharing model. What might also be the case if you're going to create a pool or a water element of some sort, one pool for the whole community instead of people putting one pool in their backyards, house after house after house, which is water intensive and not sustainable. Well, get creative in how you can share resources, share amenities, maybe recycle that water, repurpose that water, collect water, all sorts of great ideas that you are all welcome to also think about in creating a residential community that's sustainable. Many more can go there. What I'd like for you to know is that in both case 3 and 4, the questions draw from all the course concepts while also applying the Unit 3 learning outcomes. We are now at the point in the course where units 1 and 2 have given you a lot of foundational ideas and concepts that you're now applying in an entrepreneurial setting. I went through the exam, and these are some of the themes and keywords that came up across the exam questions in both the certificate and final credit exams. There are 2 of them. You need to be prepared for things like sustainable innovation and breakthroughs. What's that process like? Entrepreneurial processes and generic factors in a breakthrough process. Sustainability entrepreneurs, what are their abilities, attitudes, motivations? Think about strategy and structure, the iterative, creative process, the window of opportunity for an entrepreneurial idea. How important are the human factors? Who's on your team? Environmental factors that play into the innovative product designs. The capabilities and resources. Of course, we're going to have systems thinking, systems change, and circular economy. That's essential in any sustainable innovation. Also, some ideas to be ready for are the creative phase, to think different. What does thinking different mean from the perspective of sustainable innovation? How could an analogy technique help you think differently? What about molecular thinking and green chemistry? How can value-added networks or VANs be helpful? What about weak ties, strong ties? Radical incrementalism. And what does it mean, innovation at the invisible level? How about surprising habits of original thinking? That's one of the videos in our learning materials by Adam Grant, and I've drawn some questions from there. Of course, the do-it-yourself creativity tools, the fast idea generator, thinking hats, that could come up in this case. All right, let's look at case 4. Case 4 is, can social entrepreneurs solve the food scarcity problem? This case is based on a fictitious company attempting to solve a real world hunger crisis where food is a human right. Food scarcity is a widespread issue in many poor communities and even affects segments of society in developed countries like the United States. According to the United Nations, 10% of the world's population is experiencing food scarcity, with 1 in 9 people going to bed hungry each night. Chronic malnutrition affects 155 million children worldwide, leading to reduced health and wellness, stunted growth. I mean, that really sets someone up for a tough life when they have stunted growth as a young child. Poor performance in schools and lack of success as adults, creating a tragic cycle that is difficult to escape. In 1948, almost 75 years ago, or right about there, the UN included hunger in Article 25 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It says, everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and his family, or herself and her family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care and necessary social services. Oh, they should say their family, right? Their self and their family. That's the most inclusive way today. All right, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. We, according to the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which I agree with, we need to help people who need help. And, when things are beyond their own control. Even though hunger has been a long-standing issue for humanity, it remains a largely unsolved problem for many people worldwide. Food scarcity is part of a cascading set of social and environmental issues that has its roots in poverty, war, climate change, and natural disasters. As we can see, those are all issues beyond someone's personal control. In 2015, the United Nations adopted the goal of zero hunger as one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which together act as a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all by 2030 and beyond, I will add. Okay. Achieving the goal of zero hunger, SDG 2, is interrelated to advancing other SDGs as no poverty, SDG 1, good health and well-being, SDG 3, quality education, SDG 4, gender equality, SDG 5, clean water and sanitation, SDG 6, decent work and economic growth, SDG 8, reduce inequalities, SDG 10, climate action, SDG 13, life on land, SDG 15, and peace, justice, and strong institutions, SDG 16. So we can see how interrelated all of these goals are in achieving one goal, such as zero hunger. Food as a human right, continued. Leading the way for the United Nations to achieve zero hunger by 2030 is the UN World Food Program, whose important work in delivering food assistance to those impacted by emergencies and working with communities to improve nutrition and build resilience earned it the Nobel Peace Prize in 2020. This honor has brought much needed attention and global news coverage on the issue and has inspired more people to try and help solve the problem. And here we have a world map showing those countries, especially in red and orange as having more severe food shortage situations. Social entrepreneurs step up to help solve food scarcity. After reading about food scarcity, you decide to start a new organization called Prosperity Allies, based on the principles of social entrepreneurship. Luckily, several of your university classmates enthusiastically join your team to help tackle the issue. After researching the global crisis, you decide to focus on one of the hardest hit nations, Tanzania, located in East Africa, to scale operations internationally over the next 5 years. And we can see this, this visual here, where Africa and Asia have the greatest amount of food scarcity issues. And again, all nations do have some degree of this. Aligning with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. To make meaningful impact, you decide to align your organization's efforts to SDG 2, Zero Hunger, that aims to end hunger, achieve food security and improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. Within this goal are 8 targets which will serve to help shape your mission, vision, and strategy. So we have target 2.1 to 2.5 plus target 2A, B, and C. And you can read through these various targets. They are universal access to safe and nutritious food and forms of all malnutrition, double the productivity and incomes of small-scale food producers, sustainable food production and resilient agricultural practices, maintain the genetic diversity in food production, invest in rural infrastructure, agricultural research, technology and gene banks, prevent agricultural trade restrictions, market distortions, and export subsidies, which, by the way, happen to hurt developing nations usually quite a bit, especially when a developed nation adds subsidies to their agricultural industries, which many developed nations do. Ensure stable food commodity markets and timely access to information. All right, I hope that you enjoy this case and thinking about these issues. And let's consider one of the potential exam questions. Which of the following best describes the role of social entrepreneurship? Is it social entrepreneurship is a way of enriching human potential while providing products and services? That sounds pretty good. Social entrepreneurship is a way of pushing the societal boundaries for sustainability initiatives. Oh, that sounds pretty good too, right? Well, what does that mean, societal boundaries? Well, in sustainability, we have boundaries, and they're used in the way of planetary boundaries and societal boundaries. And that's kind of the edge of the breaking point. So no, we don't want to push societal boundaries. So when we use that word in a sustainability term, it X's out B as a possible answer. C, social entrepreneurship is a way of using social networking to build more collaborative organizations. I suppose that could sound like a good question if you did not read anything about social entrepreneurship in this course. You may jump to that answer if you really did not study hard enough. All right, D. Social entrepreneurship is a way of offering opportunities for people to connect in communities of shared interests. Maybe, can't say it's 100% no answer, but the question is, which of the following best describes? And with that, the answer is A. It is a way of enriching human potential while providing products and services. For this case, again, I went through the exams, and here are some key themes and keywords to be thinking about. Of course, social entrepreneurship, social value, stakeholder value, the SDGs, digital social innovation, food systems approach. Some of the tools we went over in the lectures, like SWOT analysis, TOES, PESTEL, Porter's 5 Forces, VRIO. Then we have a few things we didn't talk about in the lecture that I do want to bring your attention to, which is important. When doing international business, say you're in an American business school or you're in a European business school, a Canadian business school where you're in a developed economy and you're going to go and try and solve problems in Tanzania, which is a developing nation, you need to be thinking differently about what it's like, what the buying and selling market is like there. It's going to be different than an American market. And in our resource 3.1, entrepreneurship and sustainability innovation analysis, which covered the other topics like SWOT, TOES, PESTLE, borders, etc. Also in that learning resource is a few pages on bazaar type economy, firm type economy, and new economy. And I do suggest that you read those. It'll help you on some of the exam questions. A bazaar type is like a village style economy where people create or produce goods and they come to the village to sell those. That's a very different type of economy than a firm type economy, which would be like Unilever that we talked about, where you're doing things on a bigger, broader scale and you have different agendas that go with that. And you'll need to read about those and reach out to me in the comments if you have questions or in the discussions. I can promise that for the foreseeable future, I'll be on there. The future I can't see beyond, I'm not so sure. I mean, but I can promise you that in the foreseeable future, I'll be answering your questions. And the new economy is referred to the intranet economy where we buy and sell goods over the internet. All right. Also in this case, you will want to review the do-it-yourself tools, the evidence planning, problem definition, business model canvas. Those would be some good ones to look at. You'll want to know what impact investors are and what their role is in social entrepreneurship. And you will also want to know about social entrepreneurship business models, which are legal structures, yet the legal structures create a business model, the way business is being done. And there are options like for-profit, nonprofit, benefit corporation, non-governmental organizations. And a for-profit is your regular corporation or limited liability company, which may be called other things in other nations. A nonprofit is a charitable cause, and they are untaxed organizations. And usually you're relying on donors and foundations to give you grants to sustain your social entrepreneurial initiatives. If you're doing a for-profit company, you're going to have to create a profit-generating model that will help fund your business, although that's not the only way to do social entrepreneurship. You might receive all of your funding from donations by individuals and organizations. You might make it a benefit corporation, which is a corporation, so it's a for-profit model, yet it gives you the legal rights to have a stakeholder approach to the way you invest money and still be on the stock exchanges and receive investors and all, investment money in all sorts of ways. And you might be a non-governmental organization, an NGO. You hear that term a lot, especially in international entrepreneurship for social causes. Okay, also, the study guide has Unit 3 vocabulary listed, and this is the Unit 3 vocabulary that was covered in the study guide. It was what we majorly covered in our lectures because our lectures followed the study guide. And again, you may see some topics coming up on the exam that were not particularly covered in the study guide or the live lectures. because it's impossible to cover every single thing, but we did cover the majority of it. We really did. And you will want to review this list of terminology and make sure that you are on board with what all of this means. And if you went through the live lectures, I think you will be well prepared for understanding what these mean. Okay, well, I feel great at this point in this course design and delivery, making it available to all of you. I feel good, especially after doing the live lectures with you, because now my own confidence has gone up that you have all of the tools that you need to be successful. What you're doing here is a self-study on demand. Maybe you got some friends to do it with you, or a cohort of co-workers to do this program with you, which is great. But some of you will be doing this completely on your own. And I'm glad that I had the opportunity to get on here in a video format and highlight some of the most important concepts that and competencies for being successful. And now I do believe you have everything you need to be successful in this course. And again, reach out with questions, and we are here for you. So thank you so much for hanging with me during these 10 videos. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to engaging with you in other ways as well. All right, take care, everyone, and good luck.